how's everybody doing? Welcome back to Ass Hat Podcast here on YouTube now. I'm always talking about how I wish the comics market was doing better. And a big part of what's hurting is that you don't have, to get comic books now, you got to go to either like a bookstore, and you ain't going to get a lot of selection there. And it's going to be mostly trades, or go to a comic shop, go to a specialized store. So anytime I see comics in places outside that, especially if it's a new line, I'll try it out. Like, Allegiance, American Allegiance, Red Rooster and all them. I picked up the first 3 issues of Red Rooster and the Marshall Bass Reeves series. Did a little video on that. Now, this is one, I never heard anybody talking about these, and this is from quite a few years ago. This is Kickstart Comics. And these were, here's one, little digest, a little bit taller than comic digest size. I'll put a comic down and show you the size difference. That's just the next comic in the stack there. Okay, so you see they're a little taller than the digest. Comics are usually one and done stories, but they are set up where they can have more. And they're put out, and the thing is that they were $3.45, so they're about $2 at Walmart. You can get them at Walmart or online. The online ones were a little bit more expensive. I picked up every one of these I could find, but the thing is that not every Walmart had them. I didn't even know they existed. I was down on the coast, and I'm going to look at one of these real quick and see what year this is, because this has got me curious now. 2011. I was down on the coast, staying at my cousin's. And I would, a lot of times, after everybody went to bed, because usually she went to bed about 10, her husband stayed up another hour playing Madden, and him and I'd sit there and talk. And Sean, I miss bullshit with you, dude. We had some great conversations, because this is a guy that, he didn't finish high school. He quit high school because his family needed money. He had to go to work. But very intelligent guy, and I'm glad he's turned his life around. He's doing really good. I'm happy for him. Him and my cousin are not together anymore. But after he'd go to bed, I'd be bored, and sometimes I'd be like, fuck it, I'm going to go to Walmart. They had a Walmart down the road from me. I'd drive down to Walmart, just go shopping. While I'm walking around through Walmart and walking through the books, I see these. I'm like, oh, a couple bucks each. So I bought a stack of them. I have more than what I can find right now. I had about 8 of them. All I can find right now is just a handful. But I'm going to show these up. And I looked up at their website. These things were like $6 a pop, cheaper at Walmart. And each one of them, like I said, and there were very little superhero stuff. It was more other genres. And I loved the idea. That Walmart had them. I come back home and my Walmart don't have them. Well, less than a month later, I end up back down on the coast and go to Walmart. They got a couple more. So I picked up every one of them I could find. Loaned a bunch of them to my cousin's oldest boy at the time, was like 12, and he loved them. He's like, these are great. This is Endangered. 2 teenage brothers, Chris and Mikey, think their father may be the most boring man in existence. He's a safety specialist and never fails to remind his 2 adventuresome sons about the amazing benefit of knee pads and helmets. When their father fails to return from a business trip, the 2 brothers are shocked to find an attractive alien teenage girl in their living room. She informs them that their father's intergalactic space hero has been captured by an evil alien race. It's now up to them to save the universe. Endangered, an intergalactic adventure from Josh Williamson, whose comic credits include Justice League, DC's Halloween Special, Dear Dracula, Johnny Monster, and Necessary Evil, and Sunny art from Juan Santa Cruz, whose comics include X-Men, Incredible Hulk, The Avengers, and The Resistance. None of these ever got a second issue. These are forgotten about now, but it's February, so it's late 2010 probably. Good art, well bound. And they're good little one-and-done stories, but they had enough in there where you can see where they might end up doing a second issue. And I'm back here, okay. I had Blacksmith, Book of Lila. I never had Mirrors. I had Riff Raiders. I never had Bad Guys. I had Deadline. I never had Hero Complex or Witch. And I did have Witch. So there was, 12? Out of the 12, I was missing like 3. And right now, I can't find a handful of them. This is probably my favorite out of all of them. This was Headache. Lisa Joy takes the toughest chick in the last 3,000 years of storytelling, puts her in present-day Manhattan, and lets the sparks fly. Fun, sexy, incredibly cool. Excuse me. Introduction by Jonathan Nolan. Listen to the back of this. There's a cure for Lisa Joy's headache. Keep it away from me. Who doesn't want Olympus-sized stories of hot gods, hotter goddesses, jealousy, brutality, teenage, and dysfunctional family blood sport? Don't fight it, fanboy. This is a headache you'll want. Doug Petrie, who wrote on Buffy the Angel, the comics. In Headache, Joy teaches us the forgotten lesson. No matter how far gone are the gods of the world, there's nothing a girl can't fix with a sword. Michael Green, Heroes in Greenland. Headache. Sarah's an 8-year-old girl who also happens to be the Greek goddess Athena. In her life, there's no such thing as hyperbole. Hera and her evil stepmother's out to kill her. The bad boy she falls in love with is Hades, king of the underworld, and the philandering father whose approval she always seeks and fails to attain is none other than Zeus, the ultimate deadbeat dad. Now Sarah must embrace her destiny and take on the gods in order to stop them from destroying mankind. A coming-of-age tale from brand new writer Lisa Joy, whose television credits include Burn Notice and Pushing Daisies. With cover and art by Jim Fern, whose credits include Fables, Judge Dredd, and Spectacular Spider-Man. And I love that he's got distribution in Walmart. Thing is, besides Comic Geek Speak podcast mentioned these once, I never heard anybody talking about these. This was the one that I really thought would do good. This has a very Buffy the Vampire Slayer feel to it, which I recommended this one. This is the one I gave my little cousin to read. I was like, dude, he was getting into Buffy, like, you need to read this. And like I said, really good art, cool little story, and they all end where there could be another issue if need be. All right, then we got Heavy Water. This is a science fiction. Let's see what we got on back. In an alternate future where Nazis won World War II, one man has the ability to travel back in time and change history for the better. His only hope is an old diary and an unreliable time machine. Heavy Water, a science fiction war story from writer Jonathan W.C. Mills, will cover and art by Roberto Murillo, whose comic credits include Legion, Prophets, and A10 for IDW. And I don't think this website even, I don't think this company lasted very long. And all these were written where, PG-13 at the most. Most of them were PG-13. Well-written stuff. And then the last one I can find, and I've got more, I just don't know where they are. And this one, I love this cover. Ward 6. Look at that cover. On the back here. 5 inmates in a medical ward with no memories of their past try to figure out who they are and where they came from. When one of them, who they believe to be dead, returns looking healthier than ever, they realize they are merely puppets in a strange experiment. Their only hope is escape. Ward 6, a twisted tale from Kevin Fox, whose screen credits include The Negotiator artwork from Salvador Navarro, artist on Tales from Wonderland. I think that's a Xenoscope title. And real quick, anybody out there actually read Xenoscope for the stories? It's all just, hey, it's got cheesecake art. I've tried them and can't get into them. This is another one I remember really enjoying. But that's it. Anybody out there watching this knows more about Kickstart, please let me know. I'd love to know what happened to I got a feeling these just came out, they bombed, and that was it. Because none of these went on until second issue. I don't think the website exists anymore. I remember going online to I was going to buy the few I couldn't find in stores but they were like $6 a piece. I'm like, no, I don't want to pay that much. I mean, they're fairly thick. They're thicker than your average comic. They're about the size of like 2 or 3 comics put together. But I'm cheap. I'll admit that. I am cheap. I like that, $2 and some change, and then at Walmart on the coast, I guess they weren't something, they cleared them out like $1 something. And I was really tempted to buy a bunch of these and go down for Halloween and hand these out at my cousin's house for Halloween night to the kids, along with candy, but I just didn't do it. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Remember, if you did, give me that thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe. And for comments, what do you think would help the comic industry? What could they do to get more people reading comics, more kids? That's the thing. You gotta get when they're young. Like, I got into comics when I was a young kid. I was 4 years old. I was buying comics. And a lot of my generation, they didn't start buying until 8 or 9, but they're buying, G.I. Joe and Star Wars. They got them into them, and some of them kept reading for years, some did. Nowadays you go in your comic shop, and most people you see looking at comics are 16 to 35, male. And that's who they market to. So you got to market to other things. That's why I thought, like, this headache. I thought this would be one that would appeal not only just to younger people. Like, this would be a good one. I think a lot of females would love this one. It's like Buffy, or this, for your sci-fi fans, or I don't know. I'd love to see the comic market be as big as the comic movies are. I'd love that. That'd just make my dad be like, yes. I don't think it's gonna happen. But I'm out, everybody. Talk to y'all later. Bye bye.